this point, we have two different sources saying that there indeed has been an agreement to extend the existing 72-hour truce. The two sources are, on the one hand, an Egyptian official who is part of the mediating process between the Palestinian delegation and its Israeli counterpart. And the second source is a man named Izzat al-Rishk, who is a senior Hamas official and was part, or is part, of the Palestinian delegation in Cairo. This man has actually taken to his Twitter account and just published a message some minutes ago indicating the fact that indeed his delegation has agreed to extend this ceasefire. This, of course, is contradicting previous statements made by Hamas, the Islamists who control Gaza, who had said that this was to be the very last ceasefire, and that if no final agreement was reached, then hostilities would resume. At this point, it seems that they have been convinced otherwise in order for discussions, to be prolonged.
So this agreement, it appears, being made public just half an hour before the present one is set to expire, and hostilities, we were told, set to resume. This rocket being fired then not really impacting upon the talks in Cairo in any great way?
Well, it is definitely an element to be taken into consideration and certainly considered by the Israelis to be a breach of the truce. However, it's a little bit more complicated than that. It, first of all, has been denied by Hamas. Hamas is absolutely not claiming responsibility for this. And on the other hand, you have rival factions in Gaza, notably two different factions who at this point have, for their part, claimed responsibility for this instance of rockets are coming from Gaza and hitting Israeli territory. Obviously, what you have there is competition between different elements operating inside the Palestinian enclave. Obviously, not everyone on the same wavelength, not everyone with the same agenda, and not everyone agreeing as to what should be coming out of Cairo. Perhaps due to these factions, again, which are not exactly aligned with Hamas or Islamic Jihad, which are the two main ones represented in Cairo, perhaps those ones are not liking what they're seeing coming out of Cairo for the moment. Remember that some of the major demands are a complete lifting of the Israeli-Egyptian blockade on the Palestinian enclave, the creation of a real port, seaports in Gaza, also an airport, and just a facilitation of the transfer of goods and people in and out of Gaza. Perhaps those smaller factions who are getting wind of the fact that this has absolutely not been obtained so far are just not satisfied with that, and that's their way of making their perspective on the issue heard and understood by everyone, the Israelis, but also those Palestinians in Cairo.